sunk an enemy destroyer.
Hey team, this is Ripper. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. You got a fun video of more of a maybe dev talk blog, whatever you want to call it. I think it's called a answering questions memo section here, where we'll just talk about a question that someone asked me, and I'm actually going to plan on doing a full video about at 4,000 subs. We'll do a video of where I just talk about me and talk about my life and just give more information about me. But right now, I think I'll just answer a question to those that are you guys have been viewers and fans. Great, I love it, and great supporters. So the way to give back is just to answer your questions and maybe give perspective from my experience on this earth, and hopefully help somebody out there. But as always, before we begin, like, subscribe, button below. Appreciate all the supporters of the channel. Thank you very much for all those that have been with me since the beginning, and those that are new here, welcome. And I can't thank you guys enough for supporting the channel. And we've been having a blast about learning how to sail ships, shoot ships, and make friends at the same time. All right, so I'll read the question, and shout out to the Emerald Pickaxe 3991. Thanks for this question. I actually been pondering about how to do this, but you actually kind of jumped the gun and jumped to this question before I could. But the question is, hey Ripper, I've been you mentioned in some of your videos that you were in the Air Force at some point. And considering joining the military, I want to ask you on how your experience was, the ups and downs. Anything that you could tell me would help me appreciate. And I've been asked this question a lot because we have a lot of cadets and scouts and other people that come by throughout my career have asked the question. Yeah, I even have young people that I've just met, or even some of my family have asked, is it worth it to be in the military? So the first one is, to answer your question, yes, I am in the Air Force. I'm actually in the Air Force Reserves now, currently in operational status. I'm currently in an operational test and evaluation squadron, and because of security clearances and stuff, the idea of we're currently ongoing operations, I'm just not going to talk about it too much. I can't really either, but just know that we're out there defending freedom for those that require it. If you're in a different country, sorry, I'm not fighting for you. We're fighting for the good old US of A. And some of you have always said that, despite what your views are of the government, yeah, I think the government is, a big mafia, black thing. But, I mean, that's how most governments do operate. And whatever viewpoint is, I serve my flag, my team, my country, the way that other guys on other countries, militaries, whatever you want to call it, do the same thing to defend their nation, their country, my family. And I have a family. I got a wife and son and daughter. And if this is considered service to them and our country, then hey, understandable. But whatever your views on the military are, go for it. I mean, I support that as well. You have your freedom to talk about whatever you like to talk about. But yeah, so currently in that, that's my current position right now, Lieutenant Colonel, pilot, flying for over, man, what is it now? I've been flying since 2007, and that would be whatever year this is, 2025. So yeah, I've been flying for a good 18 years now. Pretty crazy, right? So I'm actually working towards a retirement, and we'll talk about that, why that is a pro and con, or about that. But so I began, and I definitely, I think it's worth it for me, and it may not work for your life. So to answer your question, if you're considering it, is it worth it? So first of all, I think it was worth it for my situation, from where I came from. And I thought it was a good thing because not only did it get me out of the house, it gave me some structure, it gave me discipline, it gave me something to do. It gave me immediately gave me work right off the bat, and it really and I've always wanted to fly, so it gave me so many opportunities, and I'm very grateful for that. Regardless of how most people portray the government or whatever, it may or may not be, like you said, all good and bad. I mean, the government's so massive that there are good actors and there are bad actors, but regardless, it gave me a life that provided me everything I needed to support my family and my kids, right? But how did I begin? So obviously I say it's worth it, right? Well, it's my experience. Well, how did I begin? And I'll tell this in my later biography story, whatever you want to call it, at 4,000 subs. But I'll tell you a little bit right now. I started, out of high school around 2001. And I applied to the Air Force Academy, Naval Academy, and so forth. I didn't get accepted to Navy, but I did get accepted to the Air Force Academy. However, they require you to have, higher ACT, SAT scores, and mine were not on par. Like, they were not that high. I'm kind of a slow kid, slow learner. But that didn't stop me because they gave me an opportunity, and I almost did not take this. And thanks to my mom, shout out to my mom for supporting me this. I almost did not take that opportunity what they gave me, which was, hey, you can go to the preparatory school because you've got kind of a nice record here. It's not bad. You know, good high school GPA, whatever. Good, you worked. I worked since I was 15, so they saw that as a good thing. I had a congressional nomination, so I literally went to Congressman. I'm from Tennessee, so I went to Congressman. Actually, I went to either Senator Fred Thompson's office or Congress. I forgot the congressman. It's been a while, but I had to go to their office, actually sit and wait for an interview. And it takes a lot of planning, a lot of appointments, a lot of resumes, submissions. And I got the chance. They liked me, so they gave me a nomination. And then they liked that, so therefore I got an opportunity to go to the Air Force Preparatory School. Now, why does that ring a bell? Because recently in the news, if you haven't heard, there was a recent cadet candidate that Miss Moore, and rest in peace for, may she rest in peace. She was, I guess you could say, accidentally killed by somebody on a jet ski, and it's a very tragic story. She was just about to join the Air Force Academy, my long blue line, and my heart and prayers go out to her as well and her family. But it's very tragic to see somebody, and I've lost a lot of friends through this process as well, and I can understand when it hurts a lot when you lose somebody. But again, I went to the same school she went, basically the Air Force Preparatory School, which is literally on the same campus as the Air Force Academy. So you not only get the experience to see it, you get an opportunity to bring your grades up, experience the military aspects, visit it, and see a lot of the life that you're about to go into. So I went there. First you enlist. So I actually was an enlisted man for the first year. So you swear in, you take the oath, you enlist as an E1, E2. For those, that's the ranking system. You're a basic airman and an airman. Right off the bat, that was my rank. And then I got my grades up, took the ACT as a lot higher now, and now I can join. In a sense, reapply, automatically reply. They do that for you to the Air Force Academy. I got in 2002, and then been there for 4 years. It's a great experience. What the saying is, it's nice to be from, but not to be at. And man, it was like hell on earth because you were treated like scum of the earth for the next 3 years, I would say. So accomplished that, finished that, become a second lieutenant, and I get pilot training. So that was my first pick. I wanted to go become a pilot. I wanted to fly the A-10 Warthog, one of the coolest planes growing up. I mean, I remember watching tons and tons of videos on the History Channel, Discovery Channel. If you guys remember Wings over Discovery Wings, it was and Wings over, I think it's Wings over America or Wings over Iraq or the desert or something. I think it was awesome. Like, it was a great show. It really got me inspired. So for whoever did those videos, man, they were awesome because we didn't have YouTube back in the day. We just had these VHS tapes of watching documentaries, and I would rent them and just watch it. And I was just so inspired by the A-10 Warthog that it really wanted to convince me to be a pilot. I really wanted to be a pilot. I'd be that kid that's sitting on the back in the day, you could go into the airport and walk all the way to the gate. Man, thanks a lot, 9/11, right? But you could literally walk to the gate and look at airplanes come and go and at will and sit at the gate and meet your family members that are coming into town and everything. And that inspired me too. I wanted to fly big airplanes as well. But yeah, so I joined the Air Force, got pilot training. Went to Laughlin, Texas. If you guys know where that's at, that's one of the Air Force bases they train. They still do to this day. I got to fly my first airplane. Well, actually, let me back up. At the Air Force Academy, they taught me how to fly and get my kind of a semi PPL, but not enough hours to get the full up license. But you get enough hours to almost get you like really close to getting your private pilot license. I flew the DA-20. That's my first airplane ever flying. And then when you get to Laughlin Air Force Base, my next plane, the second plane I ever flew in my life, which is the T-1 Texan II, which is a really cool plane. Very good trainer, has an ejection seat, PT6 engine, very reliable engine, and it's a two-seater, so the instructor sits in the back, you're sitting in the front getting yelled at, doing all stupid things. And great airplane, by the way. It almost looks like a P-51 Mustang, if you can imagine that. It's pretty awesome. Obviously, the P-51 way, way bigger, way more power and oomph in it because that's back in the World War II. But the T-6 Texan, awesome trainer, does everything you need to do, learning formation flying, basics of the kind of fighter mentality. And then you break off into whatever track they allow you to do. I wanted to do the A-10, so you have to apply for the fighter track. Now, you have to realize it's fairly highly competitive. Way more smarter dudes, way better hand-eye coordination guys in front of me, and they were the few guys that got to the fighter track, which is about 3 or 4 guys, and I had a few guys get an F-15, F-22, A-10, and maybe a couple F-16s, and that was it. And then the rest, obviously, you get to go to the heavy world or the helicopters, which is I actually think was a blessing because I got to see the world a different way. So I got to fly the T1, the T1 Lobo, or not Lobo, I forgot what it's called. The T1 Jayhawk, that's what it was. The T1 Jayhawk, which is a Beechcraft 400. Pretty awesome plane to learn in. I don't think they do it anymore now. Someone told me. I guess they discontinued that program. But it was really awesome. We're basically flying a Learjet to learn the heavy life, fly big, larger aircraft. Once I graduated flight training, I then, got orders to McCord Air Force Base up in Washington, now Joint Base Lewis McCord, flying the C-17. Yes, the big Buddha, because it's big, fat, round, and everybody worships it, right? It's the big Buddha. That's why we called it. I thought it was a big fat pig, honestly. It was so wide body, carry anything. Carry a tank. You can take apart a helicopter and put it in there. You can take semi-trucks, everything. It takes literally everything anywhere. And that's why everybody's so happy when they see a C-17. You've probably seen a C-17 in the news, withdrawals out of Afghanistan. I took all the stuff into Afghanistan, and then now that I left it, you can see all the people trying to take all that stuff out of Afghanistan that I brought in. But actually, if you think about it, it costs way more to take it out than to leave it there. So a lot of people, the government just left all that equipment there. That's why it's sad to say. It breaks my heart. A lot of my squadron members are crying about it, but the fact that we left so much equipment over there that the Taliban and Al-Qaeda and all them have our equipment. They have, they have automatic weapons that are provided by the military that I don't even get to have, and they get to have it. So it's sad to see that the equipment I brought over there, they're being used by, the opposition. So flying that and C-17 for about 4 years, I took Obama's limousines all over the world. We had to do missions where you support the president. If you've seen it on the news, you've seen the president always travels with a massive entourage and the caravan convoy. Yeah, I took everything. We had a massive squadron to take all this stuff around. It is a massive feat and a lot of money and power to move one presidential person all over the world. So it's very, very expensive. And let's see. After that, I did humanitarian missions as well. When there was the earthquake in Christchurch and all that stuff, we went down there and helped out people in Pago Pago and Christchurch area. We had to take all supplies to support that FEMA. So I did a lot of stuff, flying around the world. I've seen almost every continent except for maybe Antarctica. There's actually an operation in C-17s down there. You go there, it's Operation Deep Freeze. So they get to do that. I didn't get to do that. I wish I did. So they get to go see Antarctica. I haven't seen that one, and maybe one other continent. I can't think off the top of my head. Australia. I haven't been there yet. Outside of that, I've been almost every continent. So after that, they've actually asked me to stand up a squadron out into my new location, which I'm not going to talk about because it's kind of, I don't want to, operational security, I don't want to talk about it too much, but just realize it's very, very powerful, and just realize we're doing a lot. Getting my assignment there, and then I learned a lot. Also learned a lot about private contracting, so I did private contracting for the government a little bit, learning how that world works. It was really awesome. And I'm still doing the military and the reserves today, because that way it allows me to stay in place in the reserves, which I didn't know about. The Air Force Reserves is a hidden secret that most people in the civilian world never talk about or never have been told about. And it's the best kept secret, like I said, because then you get to be in the military and you don't have to move. You can live on your terms. You can start and stop orders, and decide how you want to live your life and still have a civilian job, which is kind of like what I did. And currently I'm working on, you didn't know, I just came back from ATP Jets in Texas, where I got my ATP, because I got my commercial license in Laughlin, Texas, after pilot training. And then after that, I was just sitting on it, not doing anything. But then I started getting my ATP this past December, and now I can go apply to the heavy airline world, the big boys, and go fly either, narrow bodies or wide bodies, and fly for the airlines, essentially. So I'm still waiting right now. It's a kind of a lull about the airline world. They're not hiring as much right now, but we're still waiting. So the question to go back is it worth it? Was my experience, what were the pros and cons? I think for me, again, to see the world, to do all the things I did, I absolutely think it was worth it. It was a great experience. I learned a lot, and met my wife through the process as well, because I was taking one of Obama's limousines. I happened to stop in an area, and that's where I met my wife, getting gas and food. She was standing in line at an In-N-Out Burger, and I just happened to be running in through there getting burgers, and there she was. So I attribute my military service to helping me find my wife and build my family. What were the pros? The pros were, like you just heard, it gave me a job right off the bat. It gave me experience that I needed. It gave me a leap into the aviation world, because without the Air Force, it'd be expensive to go get everything I have, all my qualifications, instructor, evaluator, my commercial license, as well as getting my ATP. They paid for it all. I'm telling you, I didn't really spend much on getting all that. And now I'm kind of, and they, the airlines told me that a lot of the guys that are in the airlines are my buddies that are already in American, Southwest, Delta, or United. They're all saying, yeah, they love the military because our training is, really, really high up there, and they really value that. And with the military experience, my God, I was a 23-year-old flying in Afghanistan in the middle of the night on night vision goggles, landing on airstrips, deploying special forces, SAS, Green Berets. Just taking cargo in and out, taking tanks, fuel trucks, taking the presidential motorcade around. I was doing all types of stuff, and I'm my 23, 24-year-old. The government trusts us at that age to be doing all these crazy things, which is wild to think about. So think about, if you look at it that way, it was a very good pro experience. Got to see a lot of the world, got to see great experiences, learned a lot at a very young age, and it still gave me a so-called career to pay for everything, to do everything I needed to do and raise a family. So what are the cons about it? Well, from my perspective, I think that some of the bad things are, if the military is not for you, if you don't like being away from home, maybe that might be a bad thing. You don't get to see your family as much. The beginning, I was single, and I wanted to get out of the house, so I wasn't home much. We were deployed all the time. I was literally on the road 300 and something days a year. Out of the year, when we would get back, we would have maybe like a few days or a week off, and then we would be out on the road again. So if you don't like that lifestyle, maybe the military may not be for you. But I'm unique because I was in a pilot role, because the pilots, as you could think, it's like an airline pilot, you're always gone. So that lifestyle is that lifestyle. There are other military careers out there. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but you have to figure out what suits you. Again, I won't lie. Most military members do have to deploy and leave home anyways. So if you don't like being away from home, maybe that may be a downside. You won't see your family as much, especially as air crew. I was gone all the time. So that might be a con, where you don't see your wife or your husband or your kids or whatever your situation may be. That might be a downside. The pros I already talked about. Maybe what are some other cons? Maybe the military life, maybe the environment may not be for you. I know there are certain aspects of maybe it's strict. You got to do military fitness every year. You got to check to see if you do push-ups, sit-ups, run a certain distance. If you can't pass that, you actually get kicked out. If you can't maintain the standard, you have to look good in the uniform in a sense, because if you're just hanging it all out, you don't look in the uniform, you're not professional looking. It's just like you're in a company. If your company has standards that you have to maintain, and you don't live up to those standards, and you are portraying as the visibility of that company, then yeah, they may let you go as well. So military is no different, and you have to every year have a performance review. You have to look at your standards. Are you meeting them? And make sure that your commander is thinking you're progressing. And you got to also continue to progress and promote and do those things. So that could be a downside if you don't like that stress. If you want to continue to, just be lackadaisical, show up, go to work, come home, and then that could be the lifestyle that is not for you. And you want to go back and work a 9-to-5 job, totally fine. So what were my experiences right there? And again, I'll go more in depth when I go do the 4,000 sub review of my life. But for the military, again, I thought it was worth it for me. I think it was a very, very awesome experience. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I think I learned a lot. It's very good. So the pros are good experience, job, money, aviation experience, so forth, and you get to see the world. Some of the cons are you're always gone. Very tough times. You may not make as much money in the private sector. That's another thing. So people ask. You can all see what you're making online. You can just search the pay scales of being in the military, and you know what we make. It's not really that a big kept hidden secret, but you can definitely make more in the private sector, which I found out. I was making 2 to 3 way more times as much money working as a private contractor for the government. That's that. And that's my thought on the military question for experience. So again, that's up to you. Again, use the resources you have online to research to find out more information. If you are thinking about joining the military, I think it's a very admirable thing to do. Then thank you for your service ahead of time. But for all those that came before us, thank you for your service that served and helped us get to where we're at today. And like I said, I hope that helps whoever's asking, about my experience in the military. If you're thinking about joining, my unique experience has been in the Air Force. So I may not know what the Navy is like, or the Army, or the Marines, and the Coast Guard, and so forth. But we got the internet at your fingertips now. You can search it, use AI to figure out the stuff, and determine what is the best course of action for you. But I hope you guys enjoy that video. Great questions. I like these questions, and I enjoy actually talking and answering questions while having a good replay background in the background replay. So that was a great battle, by the way. The Cabras, very, very powerful ship. 165,000 damage. I actually almost got a Kraken with this other guy. The Petra, if he had let me take that shot, we'd have had 2 Krakens in a game. But anyways, I'll put the build at the end of the video if you want to take a look at the Cabras build that I had in that current replay. And until next time, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me know what you think about the thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for the questions. Thanks for the support. Smash those buttons if you want to support the channel. We can't thank you enough. Until next time, if you see me out there, make sure you say hello. Cheers.